Marjorie Harvey's cheating scandal on Steve Harvey has gone from bad to worse. Now, it looks like Marjorie is trying to get her hands on Harvey's money. Over the past couple of days and weeks, we've been inundated with stories about Marjorie Harvey cheating on Steve Harvey with her bodyguard, William Boom Freeman, who is known to be a pimp in certain circles. As we learned in our last video on Marjorie's cheating on Steve Harvey, William had a reputation as a pimp, which not only adds a little scandal to his name, but also shows that he had experience navigating society's senior population. We'll be going through all the latest information, so make sure you stick around until the end for all the details. Before Marjorie fell in love with Steve, she was rumoured to have been engaged to two people involved in drug trafficking. Her past relationships were often the subject of gossip. Both Marjorie's past relationships and Big Boom's background indicate a tendency for Marjorie to be attracted to guys with complicated pasts. Steve's bodyguard, Big Boom, was always by his side, and as time went on, rumours began to swirl about their relationship. Was Big Boom just a friend of Steve's because of their friendship? Or was something deeper going on? While there's no definitive evidence to back up these claims, some people point to their body language while they were out together, while others cite anonymous sources who claim to have seen them together. The Marjorie and Big Boom rumours in particular, given his history, would be cause for alarm if they were real. Steve Harvey has a history of protecting his family's name. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel and you're on the post notification bell. You'll never miss another celebrity video like this again. One of the best examples of Steve Harvey's protective nature, especially towards Marjorie, is when he spoke in front of thousands of people and said, "I would give up my life for her."
Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine. You understand me? I kill everybody in here. I swear to God I will. You can ask the Lord about me. I'll kill every...
One of the first things that comes to mind when hearing this is that you would want her to stay loyal to him. However, as we have seen with her ex-husbands in the past, she has a tendency to fall in love with criminals. This clip picked up a lot of attention, with over 4 million views. But fans had some mixed opinions, with comments like, "Steve Harvey left his wife for another woman." The goal is to not meet Steve Harvey. Usually the ones coming this strong are doing something behind the scenes. He's talking like that because he's finally found a woman who respects him, treats him right, and gives him peace of mind. According to her former husband, Jim Townsend, Marjorie Harvey almost went to jail in her first marriage. A 2017 Radar article reported that Townsend was a major drug trafficker. He was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison after he tried to purchase cocaine that weighed the same as a 12-year-old. At the time of his arrest, Marjorie and I were legally married and living in Memphis. He told the Globe, "We had a wonderful life together," he said. "The FBI had evidence linking my brother and my wife to our illegal organization, but we cut a deal with them not to be charged." According to the Globe, Marjorie owned a pub at the time of her arrest, but federal authorities shut it down because they thought it had been purchased. Townsend was sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison, but in 2017, former President Barack Obama commuted his sentence. Marjorie and Townsend split while he was in jail, but he kept in touch with her until she went out with Steve Harvey. In 2019, Townsend told Radar that he had been working on an autobiography while he was in prison, which he said was part of his free time. He said he had not finished it yet, but that it would tell the story of his relationship with her. "I am not loyal to Marjorie. She showed her arm," he said. Now that we have some background on Marjorie's history with men that she has dated and married, it's easy to understand why people are up in arms over this bodyguard scandal. After all, he too has a history of scandal. According to his bio on Bio, Freeman says he used to prey on women to gain power and feel better about himself. He describes himself as a famous speaker, writer and bodyguard, and says this changed his life. People have been talking about Marjorie Harvey and William Big Boom Freeman ever since it was reported that she had an affair with him, which has raised questions about the future of their marriage and their family. Before we go further into the video, considering Marjorie's past with the men she has dated, do you feel these recent claims have some credibility? Or is it all just speculation? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Many fans have posted conflicting views on these recent allegations of cheating, including that Marjorie wanted a bag, Steve had it, and she grabbed it. That's it. That's all. Adopting her child and not taking care of his twins. See, if something happens to Steve, her daughter will be provided for. Steve wants to leave, but his pockets will be drained. What do we expect from a woman who dated questionable gangster men? I will say that surrounding yourself with ex-pimps and marrying women whose ex-husbands are dope dealers is not the route I would have taken. I try not to be judgmental, and everyone has their preferences, but those are some really head-scratching decisions. It seems like that's the attitude everyone is taking right now. To a normal person, Marjorie would probably think it's crazy to get involved with someone who used to be a pimp, but she's been through this before, so it's not really news to her. Steve Harvey got a lot of flack when he said he only ever had one wife. People thought he was talking about Marjorie like she was something he owned.
Because I said Marjorie belonged to me.
And they said she's not a possession. She's a person. She's a human.
She is. She mine. What is you talking about? She belonged to me, but I got news for you. I'm hers. I belong.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, he even says that he feels the same way because he's always been hers. It's just that labels are getting more and more set up by the new generation. Because at the end of the day, if you decide to get married, you're married to your spouse. In 1987, Steve Harvey was doing a stand-up set at a comedy club in Memphis when he met the woman who would later become his wife, Marjorie. She showed up late and sat in the front row, where Stevie talked to her in person during the show. The first thing he said to her was, "I don't know you, but I will marry you someday." That was the start of it all. According to Steve, Marjorie told him what she thought about everything during a 2018 ad break about the momentous day they met. "I thought he was going to give me the deal because he was really quiet and he was just looking at me," she said. "I thought I was going to be on the show." He finally realized he needed to say something and he said, "I'm sorry, I don't know who she is, but I am going to marry her." That's all for today. Don't forget to sign up for Newsportl to stay up to date on future celebrity videos and to turn on the post notification bell so that you don't miss any future uploads. See you next time.